What's up, guys? Amanda Nybert, registered dietitian. Happy day after Thanksgiving, kind of wrapping up my series. Actually, I owe you guys one more call on menopause and weight loss. I'm going to do that this weekend or early next week, but using this week to kind of talk about the strategies that we use in my signature program called Lean. Stands for Living Energized and Nourished, and giving you a little bit about the why behind these strategies and why they're important, not just for weight loss, but for your overall health. Again, my name's Amanda Nybert. I'm a registered dietitian. I've been working in the field of weight loss for over 2 decades. And today I'm really going to be focusing on why your blood sugar matters when you're trying to lose weight. I touched on this a little bit in my call 2 days ago over macros. So be sure to check out the call that I did on fasting on Monday, and then the other call I did on macros. So you can see how all of these strategies kind of piece together. But when I was talking about macros, I was talking about there are 2 main fat storing hormones in the body. When these hormones are activated, present, you are storing fat. So in the long run, our goal is to minimize the presence of these 2 hormones. Now, they're not hormones that we can just completely get rid of because they do serve a healthy purpose in the body. It's just when they're present in excess that they become problematic. And those 2 hormones are insulin and cortisol. So today we're really going to focus on insulin. Again, I talked about this in the macro call, but insulin is the number 1 fat storing hormone in the body. When it's present, the body is focused on storing fat, pulling insulin from pulling glucose from the bloodstream, getting it somewhere other than the bloodstream, and not focused on, utilizing your fat for energy. So when we talk about strategies that are going to improve your overall health and improve your weight loss, we have to think about insulin, and we have to think about the strategies that we can use to minimize our insulin response or the insulin production in our body. So let's have a little science talk for just a second. What is insulin? Why do we need it in our body? So insulin is produced in the pancreas. It's produced in response to carbohydrate intake, sugars. Anytime we have meals that have any carbohydrates or any sugars, anytime we have meals that have excess carbohydrates and excess sugars, you're going to see an even larger production of insulin. So let me give you a visual. Let's say you get up in the morning and you eat a bagel, a bowl of oatmeal, a bowl of cereal. Basically, your blood sugar is going to be very elevated, and your pancreas is going to secrete as much insulin as you need in order to bring your blood sugar back to normal. Now, a healthy blood sugar response is, especially when you're looking at the exact numbers, like you're wearing a CGM or you're like a diabetic and you're tracking your, blood sugar numbers. A healthy response is that when you eat, your blood sugar does not rise more than 30 points. So if your baseline, if you start a meal at 100, you don't want your blood sugar to go over 130, okay? So that's a normal response, anything under a 30-point increase. We don't want our blood sugar to go above 140 total, okay? So let's say our blood sugar started at 110. Ideally, we don't want our blood sugar to go over 140. And then we want our blood sugar to return to normal within 2 hours. So again, it's impossible or really hard to prevent this natural, response in the body. That's not our goal. Our goal is to prevent these big spikes like we all had yesterday. I literally ate my weight in white chocolate covered Chex Mix. I don't know why I made that stupid stuff, but trust me, my blood sugar was through the roof. The other thing that you have to realize is that a lot of us are dealing with insulin resistance, meaning that we've been spiking our blood sugar so much over the past 10, 20, 30, 40 years that our body has become resistant to insulin. It's become, less sensitive, meaning we now need more insulin in order to bring our blood sugar back to normal. This is kind of that sign, that period before you become a full-blown diabetic, okay? The best way to see if you are insulin resistant, there's two kind of sets of labs that you can look at to determine, am I insulin resistant? You can also kind of use these labs to see, specifically one of these labs to see, am I on the path to diabetes in the next 4 to 5 years? Okay. The first lab that you can look at is your triglyceride to HDL ratio. You take your triglyceride number, you divide it by your HDL, that gives you your triglyceride to HDL ratio. Optimal is below 1.1. Okay. So if you do that math, and your number is 1.1 or less, your risk for any type of cardiac event, you are not insulin resistant, any risk for diabetes in the future is extremely low, okay? The other, if your triglyceride to HDL ratio is between 1.1 and 2, we consider that normal, okay? But the closer you're getting, 1.8, 1.9, the closer you're getting to 2, bells should be going off, okay? You're trending in the wrong direction. Anything 2 or over means that your risk for cardiac event is higher. You're most likely insulin resistant. You're looking at, if you're not already diabetic, in the near future. So those are labs that we're all getting that we can kind of look at. The other lab that you're not getting that I strongly encourage you to ask your physician to order is a fasted insulin level. The fact that practitioners are not using this as a screening tool for future diabetes is kind of mind-blowing, okay? Because if your fasted insulin is elevated, I would say above an 8, then if you do not course correct, if you do not make significant lifestyle changes at this point, then you most likely will be a full-blown diabetic in 4 to 5 years. So again, your hemoglobin A1C can be normal, your fasted glucose can be normal. This is like the canary in the coal mine, all right? If your fasted insulin, again, is above 8, you are going in the wrong direction, okay? So that's a good way. That's a good sign that I need to make changes. And I always encourage my clients, because I actually have a free lab guide on my website. Something that I encourage my clients to consider getting these labs at least once a year. So head over to my website. You can download it if you want to take it to your next doctor visit. But when you're looking at labs, you really want to be looking at trends. Okay. So a lot of times clients will send me kind of like a one snapshot of their labs. And I want to see what have we been trending? Are we trending up? Are we trending down? So that's what we want to look at as well. But again, back to blood sugar management, just giving you guys some of those tools that you can kind of look at to see, where's the status of your health right now? And, based on your current lifestyle, what path are you on? Because that's what it's all about. So again, managing your blood sugar is key to weight loss because of this insulin response. So like I said, a lot of us are insulin sensitive. I mean, insulin resistant. And like I said in the beginning, if you eat a bagel, if you eat oatmeal, if you eat cereal in the morning, a normal blood sugar response, would be blood sugar, insulin. But as you become insulin resistant, now your blood sugar goes up when you eat a bagel, and now your body needs this much insulin to bring it down. Okay. And over time, that gap gets bigger and bigger. And you can see why it becomes so much harder to lose weight when you're insulin resistant, because your body is now having to produce, in some cases, double the amount of insulin to regulate your blood sugar back to normal. Now, insulin resistant is not something that you can treat overnight, okay? It is going to take months, okay? 6, 12 months, 18 months, 2 years in order to get this, insulin sensitivity back. There's a lot of things that we do in the lean program to help move you to be more insulin sensitive. Intermittent fasting, I talked about that on Monday. macro management, how you prep your meals, like what your meal looks like, activity, building lean muscle mass, eating adequate protein, eating high fiber. All of those things are going to help improve your insulin resistance if that's the issue. So that's the first reason why your blood sugar matters. Number two, elevated blood sugar, insulin resistant, blood sugar dysregulation is probably the number one thing causing high levels of inflammation in your body. So we know that insulin is a fat storing hormone. We also know that when people are dealing with high levels of inflammation, weight loss is harder. So at the end of the day, if you simply focus on the strategies it takes to improve your blood sugar management, you're going to see better weight loss results. In addition, you're gonna be healthier. We're rolling into the new year. I'm always putting out content, but got a lot of content coming to you guys in the near future. And I always start the new year off with talking to you guys and saying, stop making your New Year's resolution weight loss, okay? It didn't work last year, right? You're right back to where you started. Start making your New Year's resolution healthy habits, okay? Because I promise if you increase your steps by 1,000 steps every day for the next 365 days, you are going to be healthier. If you eat protein forward every day for the next 365 days, you are going to be leaner, okay? So again, just a little plug for that. But I want to leave you with two main strategies that are so simple to implement that can make up to a 20 to 30% impact on your blood sugar response, okay? And again, we teach a lot of these strategies in my 7-week lean program, because at the end of the day, the goal of lean is to improve your blood sugar regulation, increase your metabolism, and promote weight loss, all right? And we do it through all these strategies I've been talking about this week. But the first recommendation is the power of fiber, proteins, and fats, okay? Before your carbs and with your carbs. So one strategy that you can use, so there's a couple of strategies that go into this understanding of the power of fiber, protein, and fats. One strategy is fiber first. So every time you sit down to a meal, specifically like a really high carb meal, like yesterday, or you're gonna have pasta, or it's your birthday, or whatever it may be, eat your fiber first, okay? Grab some raw vegetables with some hummus, with some ranch dip. Grab a small side salad that you eat at the top of your meal. Fiber really helps to kind of coat your stomach. It creates a barrier to reduce the rate in which carbohydrates are absorbed into the bloodstream. And if we can slow down the absorption of carbohydrates, we slow down that blood sugar response. You don't have that huge spike, okay, when you eat carbohydrates, when you eat fiber first, all right? So fiber first. Number two, take that small side salad, throw some vinegar in there, apple cider vinegar, white vinegar. Vinegar helps to kind of deactivate the enzyme needed for carbohydrate digestion. So it also slows down the breakdown of carbohydrates in your stomach, which ultimately slows down the absorption into your bloodstream. So you can kind of like habit stack these on top of each other to even more improve the blood sugar response. So have your small salad and have a little oil and vinegar with it. Not balsamic vinegar, because balsamic vinegar tends to have more sugar in it. So it kind of negates the action that we're trying to produce here. But small salad, oil and vinegar, one of the best things that you can do before every meal. Now, when you sit down to a meal like composition matters, okay? If you sit down to a big bowl of pasta, your blood sugar is going to go through the roof. But if you sit down to a big bowl of pasta with a side salad first and with chicken and broccoli in it, and maybe you eat half of the chicken and half of the broccoli first, your blood sugar response is going to be improved by up to 30%. And again, these are the strategies that I really try to teach my clients in lean, because giving up carbohydrates is impossible. Okay, if you've been keto all year, what did you do yesterday? It's so easy to fall off track with trying to eat low carb every single day. So in lean, we really try to teach sustainable strategies so that you can manage holidays like yesterday. You can have a bowl of pasta. You can eat rice. You can enjoy your birthday cake. When you know how to what order to eat your food in, what composition to make your meal. So always have a good source of protein, a good source of fiber with your carbohydrates. Ideally, about 30 to 40 grams of protein, ideally about 8 to 10 grams of fiber, and then your carbohydrates. In addition, try to eat your proteins and fibers first, or at least some of them first, in order to improve that blood sugar response. So that's kind of tip number one, the power of fiber, protein, and fat. Okay, tip number two is the power of movement. All right, our largest storage area in the body for excess glucose, other than fat, okay, other than our fat stores, I should say maybe our healthiest place to store fat is our muscles. Okay, so when we consume large amounts of carbohydrates, our body first puts a little bit of carbohydrates in our liver in the form of glycogen. It's a relatively small store. All right, then it goes to our muscle mass and starts filling up our muscles with glucose. Now, this is why I preach the importance of strength training. The more muscle you have, the better your blood sugar regulation is. All right, because you have more healthy areas to store glucose. Okay, because once your muscles are full, so if you have very low muscle mass, you have a very low storage area for glucose in your muscles. So once those are full, where does it go next? It goes to your fat stores. All right, so now we're making our fat stores more. If you have large amounts of muscles, then again, you're gonna have much better blood sugar response, and you're gonna have much greater area in order to store this excess glucose. So any movement is going to deplete these glucose stores in your muscle mass. All right, so if you have movement before your meal, you are depleting the glucose stores, which is going to free up area for glucose while you eat to go, okay, to go somewhere healthy versus your fat stores. If you have movement after a meal, then you're going to actually be utilizing the carbohydrates that you just ate as energy, so they don't have to be stored. All right. And I'm not talking about like go do sprints after a meal, before or after a meal, or go, do a heavy workout after a meal. It's simply going to take a 15-minute walk. It's doing jumping jacks. It's doing body weight squats. It's doing some push-ups. It's like any type of movement that you can do within 70 minutes of a meal. So it doesn't even have to be right after a meal. You're going to see good response by moving within 70 minutes of any time that you eat. So again, learning to kind of space out your steps, taking these, I have a friend, her name is Ann, and she calls them exercise snacks. Taking these exercise snacks throughout the day are really good in order to manage your blood sugar level. So think about these tips in terms of how you could easily add them to your lifestyle. Again, you don't necessarily have to change a lot about what you're eating. You just have to change maybe the composition of how you're eating it, maybe the order in which you're eating it, and maybe the movement therefore after. So think about that. Start implementing these strategies into your daily lifestyle and see the difference that it makes, okay? See the difference that focusing on blood sugar management helps to impact how you overall feel and how your body loses weight. Okay, let me see if I can go through just a handful of questions before I jump off. Good morning, happy Thanksgiving, the day after. What should your blood sugar be when you're trying to lose weight? So I kind of talked about that. Great information. How do doctors react when you bring them a list of labs you want? I've never done this before. Okay, here's my trick for that. All right. If you download my guide, on the very last page, there's actually a page that you can print out that lists all the labs. So whenever I go to my doctor and the nurse is checking me in, she's doing my blood pressure and everything, that's when I hand her that lab sheet. I hand it to her and I said, will you let my doctor know these are the labs that I would like to have done today? Okay, so I don't have to have, like, when the nurse goes out, she probably, goes to the doctor. She may roll her eyes, whatever. I don't know what she does, Some doctors are definitely more open than others. But the doctor's coming, like, you don't have to feel uncomfortable. They already know what you're going to ask for. So that's my biggest suggestion. The only thing I can say is there's a couple of things I want to say about that. Number one, some of the labs may not be covered by your insurance. Every insurance is different. So sometimes doctors are hesitant to order things because they don't want you to be mad that you're going to have to pay out of pocket. So that's something you have to consider. For me, I go in and say, I would like these labs drawn. I don't care if I have to pay out of pocket. Okay. So that's the decision that I made. Number two, the only other thing that I would say beyond that is that it's really important that you find a physician that is willing to collaborate in your care. I'm here to tell you that we have to be our own health advocates, all right? And there are many physicians out there that are willing to collaborate in your care, and there are many that are not. And if you are with a physician that is not willing to, collaborate with what you want to see and what they want to see, then it is worth looking for a physician that would. But that's my tip for how to present what labs you want to your doctor. What is the name of the fasted insulin test? That's the name, fasted insulin. I asked for your suggested labs, but Doc missed some of the tests. Can't remember if this was one of them. Again, just download my free lab guide. Does the Lean program show lives or is it all recorded? So let me tell you a little bit about the Lean program. We do have amazing Black Friday specials going on. It will never be cheaper to grab your spot. You can even delay your start for January when you grab those Black Friday specials right now. We do live education once a week with me. If you can make the live, great. If you can't, they are recorded and posted on the replay. So there is that live interaction, daily support and accountability. So you are checking in every day. We are looking for you. We are making sure that you're, following through with what you've committed to. And I think that that's what sets Lean apart is that daily support and accountability. It is not a passive program. All right. You have access to me 24/7 and I have a team of people that are helping me support you on a daily basis. But it's, basically every night you're like, I had a good day. This is what went well. I had a shitty day. This is where I struggled. So we're going to, celebrate your good days. And then we're going to help you create applicable strategies to implement to address the barriers that you see every single day of your life. All right. Because nobody has good days every single day. So there are hundreds of recipes, 4 different 7-week meal plans, exercises for all levels. We have a beginner, a modified, and a traditional. They all can be done at home, 30 to 40 minute workouts, quick and easy. Everything is in my free app, no social media required. It's just a really comprehensive program. I've got a lot to teach you. Would you please save these? Yes, I've been saving all of these live calls on my main Instagram page, so check it out. Check out my website, also the link in my bio. Click on the Lean 7-week program and it'll tell you everything you get. But you get live calls, meal plans, daily support and accountability, access to my app, exercise. It's very comprehensive. Having a hard time getting Giver in. Do you have a good fiber supplement that you'd recommend? I do. I have an amazing fiber supplement. If you have high cholesterol and if you're dealing with blood sugar issues, I have the most amazing product for you. Send me a DM, ask for the fiber supplement, and I'll send you the link. But it has like a 90-day back guarantee that if you do not see changes in your blood work, improvement in your cholesterol, improvement in your blood sugar, you get all your money back because it works that good. So check it out. I can give you that link. Message me. Love the Arbonne fiber. That's another good one. For anyone on the fence about doing lean, do it. You will learn so much. Oh, thank you so much. Meal plans, recipes. I'm considered pre-diabetic and trying to keep myself from meds. Where can we access the guide? All the free guides are on my website. You should definitely, at the end of the day, there's no such thing as pre-diabetes, you know? But yes, you know, you definitely, diabetes, not type 1 diabetes, but type 2 diabetes is a lifestyle disease. You do not need to be on medication if you make the necessary lifestyle changes. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, all right? But type 2 diabetes is a lifestyle disease. It can be reversed. Can you give website for fasting and macros? It's in the link in my bio, amandaneibert.com. Can you drink coffee with heavy cream while fasting? You sure can. I'm definitely going to save this. What's the normal range for the fasted insulin test? Good is anything below 8. 5 is optimal. Below 5 is optimal. 8 is below 8 is good. Anything over 8, you're trending, your path is wrong. You're going in the wrong direction. All right, guys. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining me. I do have one more call to do for you. And that is menopause and weight loss. I know it is the biggest one that you guys wanted to hear. So I'm going to reschedule that one. I have sessions of lean starting every 2 weeks. So check out my website to see if those are good. If you're 65, is it too much protein for your organs? Shelly, as you age, your protein needs increase. Okay, this is a biggest myth that people think that as you age, you need less protein. You probably need more protein than I do, depending on your age. I'm 46. Okay, so it is a myth that high protein harms your organs or anything else. So trust me, I have so much to teach you. So happy Black Friday, happy post-Turkey Day. I hope if you found this information beneficial, the most amazing thing that you could do is once I save it on my main page, please share it with your friends and family. I would be so grateful. Talk to you soon. Bye.